What's up, you guys? So today we're going to be doing a tour review on a custom that I made. And as you can tell from the title, today we're going to be doing a tour review on the Hammond Collection Allosaurus custom. I really want an official Hammond Collection Allosaurus to come out. Now, around 2 years ago or so, a little over 2 years ago, I had made a other custom of the figure, and to put it bluntly, that one just... Now looking back at it, it doesn't really look that good. And I tried creating like some sort of homage to it because I just destroyed the previous one. And it just didn't work. So now I am turning that previous Hammond Collection Allosaurus into a Suchomimus. I don't know if I'd call it Hammond Collection though, because it's just like, it has the Hammond Collection elements, but I don't know. But anyways, it's not done yet, so we can take a look at this thing. So this figure's base is gypsies. So the base figure I used for the Hammond Collection custom is the extreme damage roarin Allosaurus, and I've changed up the paint a tad bit. We actually take a look at it right here. Most notably, as we can see right off the bat, the custom is a lot more gray than this one. Looking at it from the camera, it looks quite horrible, but trust me, the battle damage one is a bit lighter than the other one. And, this thing has its classics where it has the battle damage and the roaring. In the rib cage, I can, be pulled up. And so, for my process with this thing is, I had to order another one of these figures, which isn't actually that difficult, because this figure had been released 2 years ago, and it's kind of rare, because no one wants them anymore. And I'm trying to make sure this thing stands. And so, So, I had to order one off of Amazon, no, not Amazon, off of eBay, for like $20 or less, I think. And, hold on, I'm just gonna get this thing to sit down, because... So I ordered one of these things. I had to wait like 4 days for it. It arrived, and once I had gotten it, I immediately began destroying it, because, well, it can't really be because, I had to make sure this thing wasn't electronic. And plus I had to make sure that it didn't do any of this. And plus I needed to cut the legs off and the arms, so that way I could make it, articulated. And I didn't end up using any of the original leg elements other than the thighs. And, I still have some of the elements that I've ripped off of the creature. Like, I still have the little scroller where there's like... I still have this little thing with the rib cage and the organs and stuff. I actually don't know where it is right now. And I still have some of its original legs. I was initially going to use the feet on this one, but it just took a bit to cut off of, and the feet look goofy. But anyways, so after I degutted and destroyed the figure, I ended up initially deciding to just allow it to have the ball-jointed tail, because the wire tail didn't really, I'm not really that good at making wired tails. But, I ended up not going through that last minute. I actually had finished it as I'm making this video this morning. So, yeah, this is the old tail. And here is its new tail. And, yeah boy, it is long. Let me try to get this thing to stand up again. Hopefully it can. Please stand up. Please! But anyways, this is the figure. Now, I broke this thing completely in half in order to gut it. And yeah, I ended up cutting off the arms, and I used my old Indoraptor figure for the arms, and I just shortened it and just removed the Allo's hand and just put it onto here. The material that I used for most of the for some of the plastic elements on this thing, like the legs and partly the arms and stuff, is polymorph plastic. It's this thing of a bunch of beads that come in a bag, and you put them in a measuring cup or some other sort of ceramic container, and you put water in it, and then you microwave it for a couple minutes, and then you got plastic. Now, I initially used some Lego Technic ball joints, but that didn't really work too well, because I was trying to copy how Mattel does their ball joints, because they usually only just go with the singular ball joint option, but I couldn't incorporate singular ball joints, so I ended up having to order some ball joints off of Amazon, Hobby Base brand, and unfortunately they didn't have the ball joints that I usually get anymore, but luckily I aim to get bigger ball joints, and honestly it worked pretty well. Now, I tried color coding to the actual figure, but as you can tell, it didn't really work out that well. And honestly, I like this a little bit better than the original. But I guess we can get into the articulation now. So for articulation, its jaw can open and close. For some reason, the jaw articulation in the bottom jaw is quite minuscule. And, yeah. The head is on a ball joint and can look left, right, up, and down. Well, this is up and this is down. And it can do that if you really want to. I wouldn't really do it. And there's also one in the neck, in which it can look right at you. The arms can rotate a full 360. The arms can move up and down, and the hands can move as well. And the legs can rotate a full 360, and there's a joint in the knees, and there's one in the ankles and the feet. Now, I'm trying to make this thing's joints tight, so that way it can stand on its own but not be completely immobile. And for the tail, there is a ball joint in that, in which you can... Oh, the paint's already starting to scrape off. Yeah, no biggie. And there is a wire in the tail. I tried using a very thick wire with a lot of gauge, I think. I think the less gauge there is, the thicker the wire. But even then, it still has the terrible mobility that a lot of other Hammond collection figures have whenever it comes to wired tails. Because usually, whenever you get a Hammond collection figure, even with the wired tail, it doesn't really have the best mobility. And that is my Hammond collection Allosaurus custom, based off of the one from Jurassic World Dominion. And so, yeah. And for a quick comparison, here it is next to the Carnotaurus. and this thing is bigger than the Carnotaurus. I don't know if this is supposed to be accurate in the official... I don't know if this is supposed to be accurate officially, but, yeah. And I've somehow made it bigger than the official Allosaurus, so maybe this thing may be a little bit off scale. I'm not entirely sure, but overall, that's it for this video, and I'll see you guys in the next video, and goodbye.